here to the folks.
Yes, so we have at the bottom, we have Stinky. This is a franchise that has maybe like one or two good games all around, but not a very good franchise all around. We have P-Bad, kind of a step up. Like it has, either really kind of just like okay games or just games that are bad and kind of like a mix between those. Insanely Average, just as that. They're very average games. They're fun to play maybe for a little bit, maybe a franchise that doesn't change a whole lot. P Good is solid. They like to bring innovation.
P Good.
It's P Good. They like to bring new things to the table. We have which is, as it says, it's a good franchise. We enjoy their games a lot, and then we have Angel Singing, the best of the best, the ones that you get hyped for, the ones that you see. I almost said E3. That's not a thing anymore. The ones that you see get announced, and you're insanely excited. So yeah. And then most of our choices, I know there's some probably missing that you guys are like, oh, blah, blah. Why isn't GTA here? We went with franchises that we have a lot of experience on. Some like Eric has more than I do and vice versa. And then this is Call of Duty right here, by the way. It's just
don't show up.
It just doesn't show up. So yeah. So which one do you want to start with first?
I think.
Should we go?
Or should we go in order?
I don't think we should go in order. That's a little lame.
Let's pick.
Keep the viewers on their toes.
Let's pick Call of Duty off the bat. We just brought it up.
All right. Yeah, we did.
About it. We just had Call of Duty. We had a podcast about this not too long ago.
I'm setting it down here for now. I cannot see that at all. I'm setting it down here for now.
It's weird.
Call of Duty is one of those franchises that it has some of the best games, but it also has some of the worst. And
it does. This is true.
It's a mixed bag. Like Black Ops 2, insane peak. Modern Warfare 2, insane peak. Black Ops 3, great peak.
Modern Warfare 3, great.
Modern Warfare 3,
Black Ops 1, great peak. Like there's a lot of good games.
So many good games that it's just, you have your Infinite Warfares, you have your Advanced Warfares, you have your Ghosts, you have your World War IIs, you have those games.
And then you have a giant bag of just okay games as well.
Yeah.
So you either got bad, like you got bad games, you got okay games, you got really good games.
As a franchise, I think it's insanely average.
Insanely average, middle of the pack here.
It's good. There's some it's weird because there's some games like Black Ops 2 is like a top tier game, but then Infinite Warfare is like a stinky game. You know what I'm saying? It balances it out. I think it makes sense to put it here.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's the best way to go about it. So, all right, you pick one. You go next. We'll each pick one. How about that? We'll go back.
I just picked that one. You go next.
Okay, I'm going next. Let's talk about some Donkey Kong. This is probably one that I'm going to talk about a little bit more than Eric, but some of the Donkey Kong games are great. It's just a solid group of platformers. Donkey Kong Country 1 through 3 are fantastic games. But the thing is, yeah, I think I like 1 the most. 2 is really good too, though. But then you have the Donkey Kong Country Return, just Donkey Kong Country Returns. That's a good game. You've got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. DK64 is fun, but
we all know why DK64 is great. We all know why.
We all know.
DK. Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
DK.
Yeah, Donkey Kong is here. Ooh. I don't know. I think they got some good games, but there's also just kind of like a lot of crap games they kind of put out with Donkey Kong. Not like crap games, but they're just kind of like whatever games, I guess. I think I'm gonna go. I'm leaning
towards P Good.
I think the Donkey Kong Country trilogy 1 through 3 on the Super Nintendo are like, that's like a great trilogy of games. That's like up there as one of the best trilogy of games out there, I would say. It's a great set of games. And there's some other good games in there as well. It's kind of like for all you people who are trying to compare it to like Call of Duty, it's like it's way more consistent than Call of Duty. You know,
there's not as many massive stinkers.
Yeah,
in the Donkey Kong franchise as there is in Call of Duty.
And a lot of people consider some of the Donkey Kong games, especially the country games, like some of the greatest games ever. 2D games, at least, like platformer wise, I guess I should say. So yeah, I think it's a solid entry for P Good.
All right. Let's go with Guitar Hero here. That's what I'm feeling right now.
All right, this is all you. I'm not a big Guitar Hero guy, so this is all you.
So let's break it down here. Guitar Hero is one of the coolest concepts for a game. I think when I look back in like game history, one of my favorite things is when games do, maybe a special controller for their game. Like going back to, having a Rob or having a Duck Hunt gun on the NES. It's just cool. It adds an extra level to the gameplay that like not a whole lot of other games are getting. And I think my favorite instance of that has to be Guitar Hero or Rock Band. If you like Rock Band, I prefer Guitar Hero. Just because, it makes you feel a lot cooler than you really are while playing it. Like, I have the same thing, like, whenever I play Guitar Hero with people, like, I'll be, like, playing, and I'll be like, dude, I feel so cool. I probably look so cool right now. And then somebody will go up after me, and I was like, I probably looked really lame. I was like, this guy looks like he's just pressing buttons right now. It's not super cool looking, but it feels so cool when you got the music turned up loud and you're going.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of good feel to it, and there's a lot of good games, but I think overall it doesn't innovate enough between each game. Like the first 3 games pretty much feel like the same game with just different song sets. So I think I'm gonna throw it up there and P good as well.
I was gonna
there's not any hard stinkers in there. But I feel like there are a couple of them that are just average, and it, like I said, it doesn't improve on itself as much as I think it could.
I was gonna say the longevity of it too.
Yeah,
we're taking everything into account here. I mean, it's been around a while, but it's not like I don't know. Do you put it over or under Donkey Kong? If we're doing, like,
I'd put it over.
Tier. You think so?
I think it does cooler things. Even though Donkey Kong did have the bongo controller.
That was pretty tight.
But not as cool as guitars. Not as cool.
The bongo control, dude. I want to get one of those. I don't even care if I don't have the games. I just want them. They're cool. But no, the longevity thing with Guitar Hero is also a thing. But like, it was also a huge craze for a while.
It's still huge. But
it still is
actual
huge.
Guitar Hero that's huge. It's Clone Hero.
Yeah.
So you kind of can't give Guitar Hero props for what Clone Hero does.
Right. So you picked that. I'm gonna go with what have we done? We did a platformer. Something. Let's go with some Mortal Kombat.
Ooh.
I love Mortal Kombat. It's just one of those games to me. It's
fun
like
games here.
It's just a fun game. Good franchise all around. I would say
there's not really too many stinkers in it.
No. It's all around really solid. It has a longevity. I would say
simple.
The reboot did a good job too. I like Mortal Kombat 1, the new one, a lot. I think it's still pretty similar to Mortal Kombat for me, but it does a lot of new things, so I can appreciate it. They're just games that I can turn on and have a good time with no matter what. They're just fun. It's a fun series of games. I think
we get heated playing it against each other.
Yeah, we do. I think I'm gonna go
yeah.
It's just a solid group of games, and you can't really go wrong with any of them. Even the old ones, if like
dude, you hop on
the Genesis
machine, bro.
or arcade stuff like that. It's cool.
Mortal Kombat 2, come at me.
And Mortal Kombat is better than Street Fighter. I'll always stand by that.
And the PS2 games are great. I like Annihilation a lot. I think there's a lot of good ones all around. Great franchise.
Very good franchise. I think it misses out on that top tier a little bit from kind of not really innovating a whole lot in between games, but it's a fighting game, so it's like,
as long as you got new moves, new characters, and then they also do a great job with DLC for all their games. That's another one of the things I really appreciate from it. The DLC is just expensive.
Yeah, no, great franchise, like we said. So, what is next, Mr. Eric?
Ooh, I think we should go with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh boy,
this is good. Tails.
So, kind of
talk about stinkers.
You talk about stinkers. Look, for me, this franchise is like has some of my favorite games ever, but then it also has some stinkers. I don't know where to put this series.
It's franchise. Hard. It's very hard to do this
because you have Sonic 3, which is like one of the greatest games of all time. 2D platformers. I think it's my favorite 2D platformer. You have Sonic 2, which is a great game, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Unleashed,
Sonic Generations.
Sonic Generations, and Sonic Frontiers, and Sonic CD 2. Those are all fantastic games I just mentioned. But then you have Sonic 06. You have Sonic Boom. You have
Sonic Boom.
you have Shadow the Hedgehog. You have
dude, the list goes on.
You have the stupid
Sonic
ones where
1, dude.
Sonic 1's a bad game.
Sonic
I'm sorry.
1 has a good level, and it's the
Yeah.
first level.
It has a good level. And then you have like the stuff where he thought he was an Arabian Knight or something. The Sonic and the Secret Ring. I think like that's the thing. The highs are so good. Like tell me when you play Sonic 3 Knuckles, you aren't losing your mind when you're playing that game. That game's great. It's a great game. Sonic Mania. I forgot to bring up Sonic Mania. Great game too. I think it's kind of the same thing with Call of Duty though. If we said the same thing about Call of Duty, we have to bring it up with this. I'm gonna go insanely average, but I'm putting it over Call of Duty because Sonic Adventure 2. Yeah, I don't know. You can speak a little bit more on it.
Slight bias there from Owen. I would prefer Call of Duty, but
no, we could put it under
fun, man.
We could put it under Call of Duty. I don't care.
Okay, yeah, I don't think any of them are as good as Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 2 in my opinion.
No, it's a bias from me, but yeah.
But they're so, and I think the stinkers are just. I think you can't even have fun with them the way that you can kind of have fun with some of the Call of Duty stinkers.
You can laugh at the stories for some of the stinkers.
Dude, if you do that, then just watch the dub, dude.
Yeah.
Shadow.
No, it's a franchise that's been memed to death. Everybody knows how bad the Sonic franchise is, but I do think it's insanely average at the end of the day. So, all right, let's hit that Mario Kart. First Mario one on the entry. Here's the thing. I think Mario Kart is kind of overrated. It's kind of
overrated.
It's a fun franchise, but to be honest, there's a couple of things that I don't like about it. I think, here, I'll say one thing and then you can go, but I really only like only like 3 Mario Kart games. I like Double Dash. That's my favorite one. Mario Kart DS and Mario Kart Wii. All the other ones I could kind of care less about, to be honest.
So my favorites that I played are Double Dash, Wii, and 64.
Yeah.
Given I like those games, but I wouldn't necessarily say that they're great games. They're fun to play with like friends, but like it's the people you play them with that make them good.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
I think the only exception, and I think this is just a me thing. I have a lot of nostalgia playing Mario Kart Double Dash when I was a kid because I wasn't very good at it, but I would always have it's like it's the old thing in games where it's like you get super hyped for an unlockable, or like when you get something new or beat something. I'll talk about that with foreshadowing a little bit with Smash Melee a little bit. When we talk about Smash Bros. But like that idea as a kid, when you're like, you play a game, you get better at it, and you start unlocking stuff. I have that memory, Double Dash. So like playing the single player mode in that case was cool, but man, like they're really average in my opinion. I think
I don't
know. I almost
even want to put him in average, bro.
I almost want to put him in P bad. I mean, because I really like Double Dash. It's a fun game, and I like DS and Wii, but I don't like the other games that much. I don't like Mario Kart 8. I'm kind of tired of Mario Kart 8.
It's kind of lame.
It's kind of lame, but it's like
I could play like 2 rounds of it, and then I'm just kind of done.
I feel like the older Mario Kart games had so much like personality into them, and like
this is just colors.
It's colorful. Like you play through Mario Kart Wii, and you see, I feel like all the personality and all the tracks. And same with Double Dash. DS is good too. I think I'm gonna put it in. It's one of those franchises. It's just like it's been done to death, and they don't innovate. And they're very, very average. If you've played a Mario Kart game, I think you've played them all. I know I'm saying that because we have our preferences, but my preferences for Mario Kart is mostly nostalgia, I would say. Yeah. So
I agree.
I think it's a hot take. I think people are gonna get mad about that, but hey, it's our opinion. What is next?
Give me Madden.
Ooh.
So I don't know. I don't know if you have seen. Leave it there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think we're gonna leave it. I think we're gonna leave it at Stinky.
have you seen the Tim Robinson sketch where they're talking about like they're having like a focus group on what they should add to the car, like the features they want. And there's just like a really weird old dude in there. What are you doing?
No, I was checking.
He's like anybody got any ideas for this car? And like the old dude's like, Stinky. That's what I think of. Madden. Stinky. Fun to
It's
play. Stinky games.
it's kind of like Mario Kart to a more extreme. It never changes. It doesn't innovate at all. Franchise is fun. I love playing franchise, but it also gets boring after a while because it's the same thing over and over again. And as a franchise, like the older Maddens are fun, but it's also because of your nostalgia. It's the same thing. Like people say, "Oh, old Maddens are so good." It's your nostalgia. That's why.
Dude, they're so. I tried to go back and play some. They just play stiff, dude.
Yeah, it's your nostalgia. That's the only reason why you think old Maddens are good. Madden's fun. It can be fun to play a game against your friends every now and again. Do a franchise.
But it's about the rivalry of the friends. It's not really the gameplay that makes it that fun.
We didn't put any like quote unquote bad franchises on here, so we don't think Madden's a bad franchise. It's just lazy.
It's just stinky.
Because the games are fun, but you know. But all right. What's a genre we haven't done yet of game? We've done a lot of platformers. We have a lot of platformers on here. We haven't, you know what? Let's tackle one of these. Let's tackle one of the big adventure, kind of like an RPG style game.
This is a hard one.
Let's do, which one do you want to do?
I don't know. You're the picker.
Let's do Pokemon. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. I was hovering around it. So Pokemon they're good games, but it's like we've been talking about. It's the same thing over and over again. Doesn't really innovate, but the games are fun. And it's kind of like the opposite of what we're talking about with Madden. A lot of the older Pokemon games are better, like Emerald, Black and White, Black 2, White 2, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. All are great games. I think for me,
some of the newer ones are fun too.
Yeah, Legends Arceus was great, and I think Pokemon's getting better at innovating.
Yeah, that's what I did with Arceus.
Yeah, I'm hovering around P good and the bottom of top of P good, bottom of
I'm hovering around top of P good.
I think I'll budge because like I think about my favorite games. I play Pokemon a decent bit, but no Pokemon games probably in like my top 10 favorite games of all time. Whereas Sonic games I have in my top 10, and I have like Black Ops 2 in my top 10. So it's like I'm comparing it to that, but I think Pokemon's more consistent.
Yeah.
It doesn't innovate much though. And as a franchise, honestly, they don't need to innovate because they make so much money, but the games get a little stale after a while. So
okay.
All right. What's next?
Okay. Let's go with give me Need for Speed.
Ooh, the other racing game on here. I don't have much experience with Need for Speed, so I'm gonna let you take the wheel.
So we're back on our Grizzly here. I don't know why I said that. Why did I say that? I don't know. We're back on our grind here. These are games that I grew up playing. You know, I grew up playing Most Wanted. I grew up playing Hot Pursuit. I grew up playing, you know, all these games. Recently gotten back and played a little bit of Underground, and it was fun. So they're fun games. They're good. I think the Need for Speed Most Wanted remake for Xbox 360 was one of my favorite car. It might be my favorite car game of all time. Super fun. But ever since that game, they've kind of just been releasing stinkers. Every time a new Need for Speed game comes out, I wait for it to go on sale. I buy it and I start playing it for a couple hours, and I'm like, I really don't care because it feels the same except not as cool. I don't feel as cool playing it as I used to. And so I think I kind of want to. I'm leaning towards putting this above Mario Kart and P-Bad as a whole. Even though it has one of my favorite games ever, as a whole for a franchise, it's fallen off. It's been doing the same thing, but like it's still I think better than Mario Kart.
I get that. I mean, I honestly don't know. I mean, Oz probably has more depth than Mario Kart, probably. So it's like,
Now, if
different in that
Mario
sort of
Kart
way.
made a game that was like Need for Speed, we've talked about this before, it'd be top
Oh
tier.
yeah, I remember that.
If you could
No,
street race in Mario, come on.
I'm not gonna argue about that because I think Mario Kart's just kind of So, yeah. All right. Hmm. Let's let's throw it to Mega Man. When I'm talking Mega Man, by the way, I'm talking about classic Mega Man. It's the one I played the most, and I haven't really played Mega Man. I played a little bit of Mega Man, the X series, but I haven't really played the other ones. So, anyways, classic Mega Man is very solid. I think all the games. It's an outdated thing, right? I put it on here because I played the games a lot, so that's kind of why it's on here. But Mega Man 2 is probably the best. It's a really solid game. I would say going up against all of these other franchises though, I'm gonna say average. But I think it's either middle or top of average because I think the games are all
Whoa,
like they're
whoa, whoa, whoa.
what?
That doesn't have the peaks that Sonic has, though.
I guess that's true.
It doesn't have even near the deeps, the depths, the pitfalls of Sonic, but Sonic's peaks are so high up there. And I think it's a better IP in general, better characters,
That's
better
true.
story.
I mean, Mega Man's kind of dead now, but I mean, the games are just like
Iconic.
and I think I don't know. I'm just trying to think about how to say this because it's kind of weird. Because they're all really similar. They don't innovate too much in between each other, but they're all good, well-made games. I wouldn't say there's really any bad. If you go 1 through 11, there's no bad games. That's what I'm talking about, I guess. But Mega Man 2 is a really solid game. That's probably my favorite out of all of them. I think 6 is really good too. 7's really fun. 9 and 10 are really good. So I don't know. That's probably my take on it. It's an average franchise. It's one that I like a lot, but compared to like all these other ones, it doesn't hold a candle. So, all right.
Lego.
Ooh. All right. Some good games. Some really good games. You've got
Lego Indiana Jones.
Yep, that's my favorite one.
Lego Star Wars. Lego Marvel Superheroes. Lego Batman. And then I think we should just kind of let's just count out everything else they made kind of after their heyday.
Yeah. I mean, they had
so like Lego Incredibles.
Yeah.
Lego's supervillains.
We're mostly talking about their heyday here.
Listen. I put so many hours into Lego games, and I still will. I would go downstairs and I'd load up Lego Lord of the Rings right now and play for 10 hours straight. I 100% would. I love them so much because they tell stories in just a fun, wacky way. You get to run around as the characters and explore different parts of the world the characters live in. It's so much fun. Level design, I think one of the main things I think about in Lego games is level design. The way that moments happen, you build those moments, like something's coming up and you have to build the catalyst for it. And it's so much fun. The music's fun, exploration's fun. I'm gonna go here. I'm thinking yeah.
I was thinking top of P Good over Pokemon.
But we have so much in P Good already. We don't have a whole lot. And
we can move it, but we have a lot to go still, and a lot of heavy hitters left. So that's kind of why I was thinking P Good. We can put it in for now, but it'll be at the bottom of
Okay. I'll take that for now. For now.
They could definitely move down, I think, though. So no, I didn't type. I haven't played a lot of Lego games. Lego Indiana Jones. I played a lot. I played Lego Star Wars with my brother. Decent.
Those are the first games I ever 100%ed were Lego games.
Yeah, but they're just well made games. Especially the only thing that was holding me down from putting them in is they're kind of out of their prime, and they're not as good as they used to be. Whereas something like Pokemon is still kicking, or it's kind of like a Guitar Hero thing in my mind. That's kind of the way I look at it. But we can move it down later.
The peaks were way peaker.
Yeah, we can move it down later, but I think we got to go into one of these heavy hitters. I think we tackle Zelda right now. So
awesome character, awesome world.
I think this is the top. I think this is our first top tier. I think this is our first angel singing one. I don't know if you agree, but
I'm thinking still, yeah, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna hold you here. They deserve to be there. They deserve to be.
These games don't
Angels
miss. This is a franchise that has not put out a bad. Well, okay, I mean there might be some random obscure game that like, yeah, but they don't put out a bad game. You talk about having Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, two games that changed gaming. You have my personal favorite, which is Twilight Princess. Absolutely love that game. Ocarina of Time, the original Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds.
Say it again. Say it again. A Link to the Past.
A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker. All of those games I just said, somebody has that as their favorite game of all time or is considered like a 9 out of 10 and above. A lot of those are considered 10 out of 10s. There is no franchise that doesn't like Zelda in a lot of cases. It is one of the best out there. I don't think I need to say much else about it.
Yeah. Yeah, heard and deserved.
Constantly innovate with their games. Every game is different, and I love that. It is really cool that they can do that. So I don't think I need to say much more, but got to rip that one off. So which one is next?
Angry Birds.
The funny bird.
The funny bird.
Man, listen, I love the original Angry Birds. It's a great game.
It's so much fun, dude. You had your iPod Touch or your iPad, dude. What'd you load up? You load up Angry Birds. And there was back in the time with Angry Birds, dude, where they just made an Angry Birds game for everything, bro.
Angry Birds Space was goated.
Angry Birds Space was goated. That game came out on my birthday, and I remember being so hype about it. Angry Birds Space, Angry Birds Star Wars, Angry Birds Rio, Angry Birds Star Wars 2, which is probably my favorite.
I think Angry Birds Space is probably my favorite. I played that a lot as a kid. But
Bad Piggies? Come on, Bad Piggies.
Angry Birds 2. Angry Birds 2 is actually kind of cool too. It's not as good as the other ones, but it was all right. But I think at the end of the day, it's kind of average.
It's kind of average.
They're fun phone games, but I'm gonna put it
at the end of the day, they're still fun.
I'm gonna put it under Mega Man.
Hey, not bad animated movies though.
Yeah,
the Angry Birds 1 and 2 movies are actually pretty good. I can't lie. I did enjoy those films.
It's really the only type of game we have that's like a mobile phone game on here or something like it. It was really peak at its time. It was like a huge peak. Everybody played Angry Birds, but
can't even get them off the App Store anymore, bro.
It's so dumb, dude. They need to make like a compilation and put them on like console for like $10 of like
they
all
do.
Of them.
Not all of them, but like on like the 360, you can get a bunch of them.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's cool. I didn't know that. No, it's a cool franchise. You know, if you were a kid growing up, early 2010s, you probably played.
You played them. You played a lot of Angry Birds.
You played a lot of Angry Birds, and you're like, all right, it's a pretty.
Don't try to lie. Don't try to lie. You played Angry Birds. Everybody played.
All right. A lot of heavy hitters left.
I know we kind of. I realized what we just kind of. Ooh, I see one stinker on here.
This one. I think it's gonna stay in stinky. This might honestly. We said we put no bad gaming franchises on here. I think we lied. I think we lied.
Stinky.
No, like they are the epitome of doing the same thing over and over again and having just boring gameplay. I would honestly rather play Madden. I would rather play Madden.
Dude, every time I see there's either like my brother really likes Assassin's Creed, so I'd like be like, oh, I'm gonna play his games. Or like, there's a new one coming out, I'm gonna play it. Dude, I get like 2-3 hours in a gameplay, and I'm just like, I don't want to play this anymore. I don't care about the story. The fighting's really boring. It's super glitchy. And I just don't like I don't like the controls. I don't like the mechanics. It's just
bad. I've never been a fan of Assassin's Creed. I've played some of them. Just I don't know. I think it's the worst franchise we have on here.
I think the most acceptable one. I don't even say it's the most acceptable.
Black
Flag, it's actually fun. No, I
kind of like Black Flag. It was okay.
Assassin's Creed 3.
Okay.
Best one. I mean, American Revolution, dude. You play as Connor.
Yeah.
Good game. That's a good game. Rest of them, stinky.
Yeah. No, we had to fill up the stinky a little bit, kind of have some ones down there, but yeah, it's pretty stinky. So, all right, you
I'm
are.
just not realizing how massive that Mega Man logo is, too.
I know. I didn't realize I picked that big of a one, but hey, it's massive. It is massive. Oh shoot! I kind of like. Okay, all right. Which one are we doing next? We getting into some more heavy hitters?
Hey, I got one on my mind right now. It's going into the moment.
Okay.
Throw Crash Bandicoot up on the board. Don't skip it. Don't put it in the stinky thing. Just throw it up in real quick for me.
All right. Hey. All I know about, I haven't played Crash Bandicoot games. I really want to, and I've been meaning to for a while. But I know after 1 through 3, it was kind of like But they kind of revived themselves. I heard Crash Bandicoot 4 is pretty good. Plus with the remakes, it's a good franchise. It's a fun franchise.
Dude, the remakes were so good too.
Dude,
they were so good.
You know what? You know what's something that you could talk about? The remakes spawned like a whole wave of new good remakes to come out. That came out in 2017. That was like right when all the like really good remakes, like the Resident Evil 2 and all the Resident Evil remakes, FF7 remake, Spyro, all those remakes, it like kind of spawned that. I think that's huge because it's like we're putting in now for high quality remakes instead of just like remasters or ports. I think that's really cool.
Dude, the boss fights, they're a lot more innovative than I think probably any of the other boss fights on this list. And I would stand by that. Look at these platformers. Think about their boss fights. Crash Bandicoot does them way better. Level design's very fun.
Nah, dude, you got supersonic. You're just fighting gods while you're flying through the air. That's pretty dope. I'm kidding.
Dude, do you want to fight a rat with a Tommy gun inside of a factory?
That sounds pretty dope.
It's awesome. Dude.
That sounds pretty dope. No, I respect Crash Bandicoot. The
level design. I think my favorite is probably Crash 3. That's probably my favorite because there's motorcycle levels. Super cool.
Again, like what we talked about with the Donkey Kong games, Crash Bandicoot 1 through 3, one of the best trilogies in gaming. It is one of the best trilogies. It is a fantastic trilogy. Fantastic trilogy. They don't miss. All 3 of them are good. Actually, all 3 of them are great.
Neo Cortex is an incredible villain. Dude, even some of the ones that people would maybe consider a stinker game, like Crash of the Titans, dude. I played that so much growing up, dude. Crash of the Titans is goated.
And it's got a good kart racing game. That game, Nitro Fuel.
Oh, yeah, Nitro. Yeah, Nitro. So much fun.
Yeah. Crash Team Racing, I guess is what it was called. But yeah. No, it's a great franchise. I just haven't played it because I haven't gotten around to it. I do need to play it at some point. All right. Who should we get some of the other ones out of the way before we get to the heavy hitters, or should we just go in?
Let's get some more like P goods and like averages and yeahs out of here.
I'm gonna talk about. I love Naruto Storm. These games are great. They are some of my favorite fighting games. I would say I think Ninja Storm 4 is like top 3 fighting game for me. That is a fantastic game. Great mechanics, a lot of playable characters. They have cool story modes. Like you're talking about boss fights. There's this one where you're playing in Ninja Storm 2. They have a lot of really cool boss fights in them. Like there's one when Sasuke fights Itachi. That's a really cool boss fight. There's one when Naruto fights Pain. It's another really cool boss fight. They're just really cool games. I'm gonna put them at the bottom of P good. I think for me. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. No qualms.
4, I guess 5 now, because the hybrid one. But all 5 of them, awesome games. Love the series.
Cool. Let's throw Worms up here, man.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with Worms. It's another one that we.
This is a game I kind of got introduced to. Actually, I got introduced mostly to the mobile version, which I can't remember which one the mobile one was. But if you played tanks growing up, it's tanks, but you're worms, and you get the coolest weapons, dude. It looks like a cool series. You get the holy hand grenade, bro, from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and you throw that at people, dude. So this is. I mean, these are not like the best games, dude, but they're fun. They're just a good time.
It's been around a while, I think, too, right?
Oh, it's been around. So let me look at this because I'd like to have this full
there's
number.
a PlayStation 1 game, right? I think that's where it started.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even older than that. I could be wrong, but um no, it's a
All
really
right,
good franchise. Underrated. A very
Worms.
underrated franchise.
Dang, dude, there's so many of them. All right, Worms has been around since 1995.
Yeah. It's around the time PlayStation came out.
So there's Worms the Director's Cut,
Mhm.
Worms 2, Worms Armageddon, Worms World Party, Worms 3D. Ooh, that's a fun one.
Ooh,
Worms Blast,
3D.
Worms Golf.
Worms Golf, that'd be a goated
Yeah,
game.
dude. Worms Open Warfare, Worms Open Warfare
No.
2, Worms
I've
Armageddon. Dude, yeah, there's so many fun games.
how
And then
much
they did a
how
cool
much
reboot that I really liked.
how much do the games change in between? Like from game to game? Are they still pretty similar? Are they kind of something like Mortal
This is what
Kombat
I
where
was getting
they
to.
yeah.
It's all the same, dude. It's the
Yeah.
same game.
It's
It's
the
the
same
same
thing.
game with slightly more pixels each time.
Hey. Honestly, I mean, I know we gave like some serious crap for that, but if it's like inherently fun and well made,
Oh, it's
like
super
sometimes it's
inherently
just like
fun and well
it's the
made.
point of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like the point of it is that, and if you keep making it well, you know, there's not much to complain with it. So where are
They
you
did
placing this?
did you ever play the Battle Royale with me when it came out in 2020? Did you play that with me?
I I don't know.
It was 2D and you like spawn in and I mean obviously you're worms, so you get like the worms weapons.
I don't think so. I don't really have any experience with this series. I've seen gameplay, but I don't have a lot of experience with
It
it.
was kind of weird. It was fun though. It
Mhm.
died out pretty fast, but it was a good time. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of good Worms games out here. I think it's a underrated franchise, but I think
I
it's still
agree.
probably top of P bad.
You think so?
Yeah, because I mean, it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
But again, like we
Yeah.
said, there's not really any bad franchises
Yeah,
other
it's
than
like I
Assassin's
guess
Creed
it's
on
like
this.
Mario Kart's not a bad franchise. It's just it doesn't do much to change, and it's kind of like the
Yeah,
same thing with Worms. It's fun, but it's like
like it's not bad. It's P bad, but it's not bad.
yeah. All right, I would say these are five heavy hitters. These last five, these are all
Oh, we really left
big,
these ones around here, huh?
big games, big series. Is it whose turn is it to pick? Is it me?
Yeah.
Let's talk about let's talk about some Smash Bros. What a
Ooh.
franchise, by the way. The best, like probably the best crossover in like anything, like any form of media crossover. You think about Ultimate and how many characters there are in that game, and how many different franchises mixed together in Smash Ultimate. Um, but all the games are good. I am
Mhm.
not a huge fan of like Wii U, but it's still a really well made game. I think I'm still biased. Melee is probably still my favorite. I love Melee,
I
but
played Brawl the most.
Brawl is really good too. The story mode in Brawl is great. I have a lot of memories with Smash 64, and Ultimate is a great time. It is one of the most well made games I think out there. It is super passionate. You can tell how much heart and soul the creators put into this game.
Yeah.
These games. I want to put it at the bottom of Angel Singing, personally. But I know there's going to be these last four are pretty heavy hitters. So I'm cool with putting it at the top of yeah, but I would put it over
Wow,
Mortal
that's a lot
Kombat.
from you. Uh, Personally, I prefer playing Mortal Kombat. I think the gameplay is just a little bit better.
I get
But
that.
but given that I like the gameplay more, I can't change the fact of how revolutionary these games were and the lasting impact they still have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these games are still mass played, like in terms,
Dude,
like, dude, Melee.
it's
Melee is one of the biggest games, first off, of all time. Second
yeah.
off, in all of competitive gaming.
It's still one of the top competitive games, and it came out in 2001.
Yeah,
23 years ago. It's still being played competitive. That's crazy to me. Like no game has done that. I
yeah.
I don't know. You
Let's
think
put it top of yeah.
we can
I'll
change
level with you
later.
there.
We can change
I'll
later
level
if
you
we
with
want
you
to put it
there.
at the top. But all right, which one's next? Big
Uh,
ones.
you
Big
know what? Let's.
ones.
Oh, I don't know. I think there's two that I think we should save for the end here. So let's see if we're on the same mindset here of which two we're gonna leave to the end. I want to go with Super Mario right now.
Probably the most consistent on this list. Either that or Zelda. Maybe Zelda's a little bit more consistent.
Obviously, just go ahead and put an Angel Singing.
Yeah, I don't
put it up there.
I don't think it's better than Zelda, and I'll tell you that. I'll tell you why. Two things. Number one, it got in this phase in like with the DS with the 2D games where it kind of just didn't innovate at all.
So like Wonder.
And number two is I think Zelda games just have more depth to them. I think that's the only reason why. But
I agree.
So many good games here, man. I mean, Sunshine is my favorite game of all time. I absolutely love Sunshine. But Mario 64 changed gaming. Galaxy 1 and 2, even though I'm not a huge fan of them, I've said that before.
Two's way better than one. Two's way better than one.
And Mario Odyssey is like one of the most well-crafted games of all time. That's not even counting the 2D stuff.
You haven't even mentioned the best Mario game of all time. Super Mario World is the best Mario game in my opinion. The music is a different level. Mm-hmm. The environments are super fun for like how basic and like how like small it is, dude. They're so much fun. This is the whole.
There's like you got Mario 3's great. The original Mario Bros is still fun to play. Super Mario Bros rather. Mario Wonder was a great game. And you think about all the spin-offs. This is just strictly the 2D stuff. Actually, I shouldn't mention the spin-offs, but it's just strictly 2D and 3D Mario games. But man, Mario's a juggernaut. Mario games will not go away. As like platformers could die out, but Mario games are still going to be made and sold like crazy. That's just how good they are.
Now, what say ye of? Oh, dude, I forgot. Oh yeah, dude, what was it like the first time you found out about the world skipping on the second level of Mario?
Dude, it was
my mind was blown.
Yeah, dude, it was a crazy experience. You want to know what a crazy experience was for me when I first beat Mario Sunshine, because it was like it was one of the first games I ever played, and it's a hard game. I'm not gonna lie, Mario Sunshine's a pretty tough game. And when I beat it for the first time, like on my own without help from my when my brother or my mom, she would play Mario Sunshine with us too. It was like it's one of those experiences that you'll never forget. It's great time. And also Mario probably has some of the best music out of all of these games. Fantastic. Like every single game has just
second music. Best. No, third best.
I say Sonic the Hedgehog has the best, but
okay, if we're adding Sonic, fourth best.
No, it's got really good music, but no, Mario is a great franchise. You can't hate on it. It's always good games. Never gonna have a bad game with Mario. All right, so I think I know which two you want to save for later. Let's talk about some Final Fantasy.
I'm not super well versed in Final Fantasy land, so this is all Owen here.
This is a franchise I've been getting into a lot recently. First off, Final Fantasy VII, one of the greatest games ever made. You can fight me on that. That is such a great game. But you have a lot of other great games in there as well. I'm playing through 6 right now. Great game. 10, a lot of people like. 9's really solid. 16 was very different, but it's a very fun game. Here's the thing with Final Fantasy. You have some super high highs, but then you've got some stinkers, dude. You've got Final Fantasy 2. You've got Final Fantasy 8. You've got Final Fantasy 13.
11.
All are stinkers. But then you've got something like Final Fantasy 14, which I forgot to mention. A lot of people love that game. And then
10,
you've got
a lot of people love 10.
Love 10, and how good the remakes for Final Fantasy 7 have been. Both are like redefine what a remake should be, in my opinion. Rebirth, I just got done playing because it just came out not too long ago. One of the biggest and most expansive games I've ever played. It is insane. So, but when I think of the top tier, the GOATs, here's what I'm thinking, and I just kind of realized something. I'm thinking I want to put this at the top of because it is a really solid franchise. Been around for a while, but it has some stinkers. Do I put Smash Bros. Flex? Do we flex Smash Bros. And Angel Singing because it's a little bit more consistent and I don't know.
Now hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. With your logic here, dude, we're talking about stinkers. That's the same boat as Call of Duty. It's the same exact boat as Call of Duty, man. We're not talking about Final Fantasy VII. We're talking about Final Fantasy.
Hey.
Does it as a full series belong in or should it go at the bottom of P good?
I'll say this. I'm gonna put it at the top of P good.
Okay.
I think, and here's my thinking. I could probably flex. Oh, you know what?
You're jumping the gun, man. What are you doing?
No. Here's the thing. I can't. I can't. I think this is a better franchise than the Lego games. That's kind of what I'm. That's what I'm back and forth between right now.
Oh no, dude. No.
I think so. I think so.
No.
I think so.
No. One is about fun and being pure of heart, and the other one's Final Fantasy.
But cool characters, big swords, lots of magic.
Cool characters, big swords, lots of magic, and Lego games.
Here's the thing.
Same thing.
I have some of the Final Fantasy games. I think are like actually just like some of the greatest stories and some great games and stuff like that. But it's so much of like a mixed bag. There's so many games that are just kind of like too that I didn't mention. I have this. I got to get a little bit more familiar. I haven't played all the games, but I have an opinion, and I know how people like all the games and stuff like that.
Out of the like 18 games, including way more than 18, including remakes.
Yeah,
there's like 6 really good ones.
But those games are really good. So it's like it's this weird balance where it's like those.
And how many Call of Duty games are there, and how many of them are really good?
Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna put it at the top of P good. I think you changed my mind. This is our list. This isn't my list. I wouldn't have Lego games that high, but I just haven't played them that much, so that's why. But yeah, Final Fantasy as a franchise is a roller coaster. But the peaks. Here's the thing: the peaks are like we put Sonic down here, but the peaks in Sonic like aren't nearly as good from like a pure game standpoint as Final Fantasy. Like I love Sonic Adventure 2. I like it more than any other Final Fantasy game. But it's nostalgia,
Right.
But a game like Final Fantasy 6 is like a really well-crafted story on top of with great characters, all that sort of stuff. Same with like 10, 7, 9, all the good ones we mentioned. So no, and I think it's better than something like Pokemon because it tries to innovate with every new game, which is cool.
Yes.
But yeah, no, we'll go with that.
I agree.
You changed my mind on some of it, but yeah. All right.
I like to go with Halo next. All right, dude. Listen to the theme song and tell me what it sounds like.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it is here, and I know what you're saying. When people talk about Halo, you're like, "Oh, it's so bad, it's dead now." Here's a little history lesson for you guys. Halo changed gaming because it was, I guess there was GoldenEye on the 64 that was really good with FPSs, but Halo was like the origin of these FPSs. Halo Combat Evolved or Halo 1, if that wasn't a thing, we wouldn't have all this whole 20-year span of FPSs reigning supreme as like the king of gaming. Its impact is huge. Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, and Reach are all some of the greatest FPSs ever made. Probably some of the greatest games. Halo 3 is one of the greatest games ever made, period.
Halo Reach is one of the games. Right? Halo 2 is one of the greatest games ever made, dude.
They're all amazing, well-crafted games with great campaigns and even better
characters.
Great characters. It's just it's a product of its time because you can't really play a lot of those old school Halo games anymore. I guess I don't know how active the Master Chief Collection multiplayers are.
It's pretty active, actually.
That's cool.
You can get into a match pretty quick.
I know there was a thing a couple weeks ago. They did like a Halo 2 revival on the OG Xbox. Like they did a revival day where everybody went back and played it, and like I saw a lot of clips and stuff. It was really cool. Halo 2 or Halo in general is just one of those franchises. It's inconsistent.
And
But
it's inconsistent because it changed companies too.
here's the thing. I know we talked about. I think the reason why we put games or series like Pokemon and Final Fantasy high, and they have they have those like radical peaks or really just mid. Those games did a lot for gaming, and I know Call of Duty did. But I guess name the bad Call of Duties versus the good Call of Duties. There's way more worse or mediocre Call of Duties than the good ones. But Final Fantasy VII, Pokemon Red and Blue, they changed gaming just like Halo did. That's why they're as high as that. But I'm just justifying that a little bit. But
yeah. That's why they're in between them.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a great franchise. Halo is
Master Chief's one of the coolest characters of all time.
Mm-hmm.
One of the coolest fictional characters of all time. The world building's great. The world building is so sick with the way that humans had turned into space travelers, and then everything about I don't know how much you know about the Covenant.
I know a decent bit,
but they're so just cool, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm thinking about this right now, and I'm like, yeah, these are awesome games. They make me go, oh.
Yep. Hey, I think I'd put it at the bottom of Angel Singing just because of the inconsistencies compared to Zelda and Mario. But it is this is our tier list. But we talk about Halo all the time. Even when we first met each other, it was one thing we had in common. It is just it's our tier list. We're putting Halo here. So, and speaking of our tier list and where we're putting things, we're putting Mario Party at the top. It is
Mario Party deserves to be there.
It is.
I'm gonna start crying.
It is the best multiplayer experience you can have in gaming.
Best multiplayer experience.
I don't care about Call of Duty. I don't care about even Halo in this case. I don't care about fighting games. I don't care about any of that. Couch co-op. You're all four in a room.
You got an evil wheel of doom behind you.
You got evil punishments. No, but
that day was evil.
That day was evil. Mario Party is an elite franchise. Single player games are great, and they've done a lot for innovating gaming. But I've had my best times playing games on Mario Party. Any of them, any Mario Party, except for the 9 and 10. But Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Superstars. It is a collection of games that if you haven't experienced, I don't care what type of games you play. It'll be the best fun you've had playing video games. I'm sorry, it just is.
I agree.
It is fantastic.
The thing is if you don't know a whole lot about Owen and I, this game is kind of what shaped our friendship, dude. Because Owen and I went to school together. We were friends for a little bit, and then not so much for a while. And then we started working at the same company together, and we started talking again a lot. And then he was like, "Dude, new Mario Party game's coming out, dude. We're gonna have to get together and play it." And I was like, "Okay." And so we got together one weekend, and we played Mario Party for hours. And then we're like, "Dude, we gotta keep doing this. What do we do?" Every weekend,
kept playing it.
Every weekend, we'd play for hours, dude.
Dude, that was our senior. That was our senior year of high school. Was just Mario Party.
It was Mario Party, dude, and we'd always just cycle people in and out of who we played with, dude. But it was always you and me.
Dude, we played this with our government teacher. I will never forget that.
We gambled on this game with our government teacher. It was awesome.
I will never forget that. That is an elite memory that I have with this game. It's Superstars, by the way, for those of you who were wondering. And it even looking past that game specifically, I have so many memories playing Mario Party 7 and 8 as a kid, playing Mario Party 2 on my N64.
Yeah, dude.
It's just an elite franchise. That
I used to play this in my garage on a CRT. I used to play so much Mario Party 2 by myself.
And the next time a good quality Mario Party gets announced, I will be insanely hyped. That is
probably the most hyped I ever get for something.
I will be on the level of hype as if Sunshine Sonic Adventure 2 got a remake, something like that. You know what I'm saying? When Final Fantasy 7 got announced for a remake, I guess I didn't play it at that point. I didn't play it at that point. But I would be on the same level of hype as that if a new Mario Party got announced. That was a good Mario Party. So, yeah, Mario Party's great. It's the best franchise of all time. So, yeah. So, do we want to make any changes?
No.
I think I like it.
I think it's actually pretty balanced. I think, what is there? There's 4 there.
I think the only thing I would argue is putting Smash and Angel singing, but I'm cool with keeping it. Yeah.
Dude, we gotta have the Four Horsemen up there.
Hey, I'm cool with that. So, no, I like this list a lot. I mean, any franchise, any gaming franchise above Stinky is good. Yeah, this was a good tier list. This was a good
I had
discussion.
a fun time, man. I had a fun time.
This was a good list. So, these are all the franchises that kind of meant a lot to us. So, you know, we didn't have some of the other heavy hitters like we said before. No GTA, no Resident Evil, 2 that come to mind. But yeah, I mean, honestly, this was a really, really good time. Good list. I like the discussion. Leave any comments below if you want to argue for one of the ones that we shafted. Maybe you're like, oh, Angry Bird should have been an angel singing. You're wrong. But
let us know that. We want to know that if you
we want to know. We want to know what your favorite gaming franchise is and why, or why you think that we're stupid because we put Pokemon in P Good and it should have been in Stinky because you hate Pokemon. I don't know. Yeah, but that's it for me.
Oh,
whoa!
Rent, please.